One type of showing gratitude is the way people express love, preparing a meal, and appreciation for all the good things in your life. Family, friends, your education, health. The best and the funny side is that when someone makes you laugh, you have to be grateful and show how you value them and would love to spend your time with them. These are the different ways you show how thankful you are. In the US and Canada, Thanksgiving is a holiday celebrated primarily to show appreciation. Traditionally, Thanksgiving is considered as a harvest festival for the harvest and to express gratitude in general. Even though Thanksgiving was a religious festival as the world grew bigger in every perception, Thanksgiving is now identified as a secular holiday with a historical, legendary, and symbolic significance. These days, deciding a date, time, and location for the first Thanksgiving celebration is an unpretentious topic or a contention. In history, like I already mentioned, Thanksgiving was a religious obligation for all the members of the community to give thanks to God for a common or a mutual purpose. Even today, the tradition of thanksgiving to God still continues today in various forms. Many organizations provide all sorts of services and managements with Thanksgiving themes on any available days. As we go deep into the topic, we may come across different ideas on how Thanksgiving is interpreted in different parts of the world. It is a federal holiday in the U.S., usually celebrated on the fourth Thursday of November. It is sometimes called an American Thanksgiving to distinguish it from the Canadian holiday with the same name and other related festivals in other regions. The day of Thanksgiving ends with a Thanksgiving dinner revolving around giving thanks with highlighting the theme of Thanksgiving. The dinner will be cherished with foods and dishes indigenous to the Americas, namely turkey, potatoes, stuffing, squash, corn, green beans, cranberries, and pumpkin pie, etc. All Thanksgiving are not about dinners or foods. Sometimes Thanksgivings promote charitable organizations, offering Thanksgiving dinner to the poor, organizing religious services, viewing football games, etc. As per the knowledge, American Thanksgiving will be celebrated at the beginning of the fall-winter season, mainly between Christmas and the New Year. Why November? The official countdown for the celebration of Thanksgiving starts by the end of October as November begins. Most of the time, people forget the date of the celebration, but as you see the feast taking place, you can easily draw out the same because it falls on the fourth Thursday of November, even though there are multiple theories on the history behind Thanksgiving. But have you ever wondered why is it so? What is the case for the actual celebration? You know what? It wasn't like this. There are some interesting stories in the history about this Thanksgiving date, according to the Library of Congress. Going back to 1863, the era of Abraham Lincoln being the president, and he proclaimed to celebrate Thanksgiving on the last Thursday of November. He came to know about this celebration after going through the diary received by Sarah Josepha Hale from Plymouth, Massachusetts Governor William Bradford, with the tradition of passing down through generations. The diary emphasized on the dinner that was enjoyed after the enormous harvest of 1621 in association with Plymouth Pilgrims and Wampanoag natives, encouraging Hale to celebrate the same. In 1865, a bunch of years after Lincoln's statement where he announced as an attempt to unite the country during the Civil War, Andrew as an arbitrator announced the first Thursday of the month as the official Thanksgiving Day. Later, in 1869, President Ulysses S. Grant declared the third Thursday of November as the holiday, and thus the debate continued. Later in New England, Thanksgiving days were considered to be the prayer ceremony to the God Almighty for his blessings, such as all those military victories they cherished or the end of drought by the colonists. For example, the U.S. Continental Congress announced a national Thanksgiving on the enactment of the Constitution. After 1798, the people were not happy about the declaration by the U.S. Congress, leaving Thanksgiving declarations to the states. The engulfment of national government into an observance which is religious, the Southerners were actually slow in adopting this new custom, and others started defaming this new method without the involvement of holding partisan speeches and parades. Thus, a national Thanksgiving Day developed into a controversy rather than a unifying force of action. Thanksgiving wasn't given an official status because the Northerners dominated the federal government. This created a disturbance in the society. As this tension prevailed, the editor of one of the popular magazines, Godey's Lady's Book, Sarah Josepha Hale, struggled to promote unity through the terminology Thanksgiving Day. She struggled and finally won with the support of President Abraham Lincoln. The growth of the nation, where people nomads to urban and grew up and family living apart, the only time to gather all together was Thanksgiving time. As there were numerous people who were immigrants of every different story and background moved the holiday from its religious side into a common tradition rooting new fraternity. There rooted Thanksgiving football games, starting with Yale versus Princeton in 1876 flavored the holiday. As the time flew, the holidays marked up with the Pilgrims and Native Americans came to signify peace for the former, a platform for the newcomers, and a home for all. Thanksgiving in Canada started spreading to the colonial period, taking form from the same European traditions, appreciating the safe journey, peace, and the harvests. Martin Frobisher held a ceremony in Nunavut in order to give thanks for the safety in the early 1588. Later in 1879, Parliament established a National Thanksgiving Day on November 6. Ever since 1957, Thanksgiving Day has been celebrated on the second Monday of October in Canada. Like the days of Columbus, Thanksgiving is observed by some of the people as a national day of mourning in acknowledgement of the genocide and conquest of Native Americans by colonists. Thanksgiving, as the word emphasizes, has a long-carried resonance for the Native Americans, for those who see holidays as a plan of pilgrims and natives looking past their differences. Going to one of the articles, I came across Professor Robert Jensen at the University of Texas at Austin saying, "One indication of moral progress in the U.S. would be the replacement of Thanksgiving Day and its self-indulgent family feasting with a National Day of Atonement accompanied by a self-reflective collective fasting. Maybe this is what his theory is, and mostly many didn't understand the same." As the time flew, in the mid-19th century, author Sarah Josepha Buell Hale was forced to make Thanksgiving a national holiday again. This discussion got into the year 1863. She is satisfied with her wish. President Abraham Lincoln announced that both South and North should celebrate Thanksgiving and dated the holiday on the last Thursday in November. For nearly 8 decades, the last Thursday of November was the established rule. In the 1930s, retailers started to complain when November with 5 Thursdays came. They were so unhappy for the same reason because they thought they didn't receive enough shopping time between Thanksgiving and Christmas. See, the nation would always go for the economy. As per the same, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt agreed to the same. He thought moving the holiday would bring economic growth. For the same reason, many people were seriously unhappy. Between 1939 and 1941, people started celebrating Thanksgiving on different dates. After so many conclusions and conflicts, on December 26, 1941, the Congress passed a bill that made Thanksgiving the 4th Thursday in November and made President Roosevelt sign the bill into law. Thanksgiving is considered to be and known as Black Friday as the biggest shopping day of the year, which is why we still celebrate Thanksgiving on the 4th Thursday of November even today. It doesn't matter on which Thursday Thanksgiving falls. What actually matters is to be grateful for the huge and marvelous time you had. You are given and you enjoy. So if you are in Turkey or on the way to Turkey, go smash some potatoes. But kindly remember to not forget that what is the thing or the moment or anything that you are actually genuinely thankful for in your life. How about a Thanksgiving for yourselves? Have you ever thought of organizing a Thanksgiving for yourselves and your beloved? Then try this out. Celebrating a Thanksgiving with your families and friends by being off to your day with the gratitude that you are alive and healthy along with your beloved. What else could we be thankful for or to? Spend a quiet time with oneself with a paper and a pen. Write down everything knowingly by going through all your happiness and list it down. Once the list is done, be ready, because now you know on the 4th Thursday of November the whole world celebrates what? Thanksgiving! Exactly! Hope you are happy with this presentation. Hit the like button, and of course, do mention your thoughts on this in the comment box. Also subscribe to this channel to know more about anything.